Does Drake have something to do with XXXTentacion's murder? Drake is now officially involved in X's murder trial on February 24th. Watch until the end for all the details.
I just don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable experience for me. And
let's start out with a rap lyric, shall we? SMS, XXX, that's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. Skirt, why you keep on shooting if you know that homie dead? Skirt, that's the only kind of that gets you some respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Wait, what? Drake? I wonder who that one's about. Since XXXTentacion died in an apparent attempted robbery just outside of a motorcycle dealership in 2018, Drake has weirdly taken shots at the deceased rapper in a few of his rap songs. Why would a multi-billion-dollar rapper be so involved in a young rapper's death?
Kinda sus.
And what's he doing specifically rapping about how X died? And why is he specifically rapping about where he got shot at on his body? Not cool, Aubrey. Well, now Drake is facing a court order to either sit for a deposition or appear in court in connection with the ongoing XXXTentacion murder trial. I think you know what we gotta do. Let's break this sucker down. Alright, here's what we know up to this point. Obviously, and in very unfortunate circumstances, X was murdered in Florida back in 2018 when two dudes were spying on him both inside and outside of a motorcycle dealership. The two waited until he got back into his car and then, well, the rest is history. As a result, 4 men were arrested in connection to the murder, and 3 out of the 4 men are now facing trial for first-degree murder. But what's the beef with X and Drake? The fiery beef stems all the way back to 2017 when X was potentially facing life in jail after being slapped with 7 felony charges, with each one related to a 2016 domestic violence case. When he was released from jail, he was a guest appearance on The Breakfast Club, only to call Drake a what? And how he didn't respect him because he claims Drake copied his style on the album More Life, specifically talking about the similarities between Drake's track KMT and X's track Look At Me.
So he plays this. I hear da 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 my done. I'm like, what the f? As soon as it started, like I knew he was getting that.
X was quoted saying, if he would have shown that he's a hospitable person and that he's really in this for the culture rather than being taking my running off with it, then putting on his album, then he would have got my kudos. He would have got my respect. He went on to say, I would have let him hop on the remix, take 100% of the royalty rate. I would have done it. That certainly wasn't the only time the two got into a feud. Later that year, X went on Instagram Live to talk his stuff and even went to the extent of talking about how Drake was going to shoot him. Shortly after, the 20-year-old posted an Instagram post that read, if anyone tries to kill me, it was at Champagne Poppy. I'm snitching right now. And what do you know? X was murdered 3 months later.
That's suspicious.
Did Drake have anything to do with it though? Even if not, rapping about X dying has been mentioned in many of his hits. Just 3 weeks before the fatal shooting, Drake released his 2018 album Scorpion, which featured the song I'm Upset. He raps in the hit track, end up getting loose and getting pictures from my ex, SMS, XXX, that's the only time I ever shoot below the neck. Drake also opened the track with the line, 50,000 on my head is disrespect, which social media believe references XXXTentacion withdrawing $50,000 in cash before he was shot dead. The One Dance rapper set the rumor mill swirling again with his rhymes on the song. On BS, on his 2022 album with 21 Savage titled Her Loss, he says, maybe I should do a 20, maybe I should break that 20, do a 10, maybe I should break that 10, do a 5, then if it gets live, do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Come on, that one's definitely about X, is it not? As a result of all of that, Drake's being ordered to court as a part of X's murder trial. One of the defense attorneys for one of the suspects who allegedly killed X supposedly tried to subpoena Graham for a deposition at the end of January, claiming that Graham was properly served but did not show up for the deposition. As such, that attorney petitioned the court for an orders to show cause, which the judge granted Thursday, February 9th. Now, Drake will appear in court on February 24th. However, Drake nor his lawyer have to comment on the matter. If there's anything I can say from all of this, it's that there's a lot to play off of for the defense attorney in the 5 years of ongoing beef between the two rappers. But as always, we'll turn the question over to you. What do you think? Does Drake have anything to do with XXX's murder? Will he be charged with anything? Will Drake stop taking shots at X in his tracks?
Did Drake kill XXXTentacion? Subscribe for more.